Welcome, everyone, to the Mormon Lit Lab Podcast. I'm Annaliese, your host for this series where we discuss the 14th annual Mormon Lit Blitz. Today, I'm joined by Jesús Baldemar Liévano, author of Escondida, or in English, Hidden. Welcome, Jesús.
Yeah, thank you, Annaliese. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. And would you like to introduce yourself and explain what your experience is with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm 47 years old. I'm from Chihuahua, Mexico. It's just in the north by the border with Texas. I'm a father of six, and me and my wife, we moved here to Utah 8 years ago, kinda. So my native language is Spanish, and I grew hidden in Spanish, of course. So I don't consider myself a writer. Actually, I wrote a book, but it was a sales book.
Okay.
But I start there is a group that I start learning from a teacher in Mexico. His name is Rafael Vasquez.
Mm-hmm.
And we start improving, and he helped me a little bit to think outside the box, and I start to improve myself in writing. So I'm pretty sure that's why I were able to be part of this amazing contest. Talking about my experience in the church, I grew up as an LDS. I served my mission in the south of Mexico. I got married a long time ago in Ciudad Juarez Temple. And I was talking with my wife this week about our service in the church, and we were counting a little bit about the years, and I noticed that probably I served around 15 years between bishoprics, the stake presidency, or high council, and my wife served at least 5-6 years being part of the presidency of the primary or young women or Relief Society, even in the ward on the state. So probably the whole time we were married, she or myself were serving in this kind of calling. So we enjoy the church, we enjoy the environment in the church. We try to teach our kids about the gospel principles. And well, we are a happy LDS family.
Nice. Yeah, and how does it feel to be selected as the audience choice winner for this Lit Blitz?
Well, that was a great surprise. I'm not sure if it was a good short story or just because a lot of people knows me. I don't know, but at the end, I enjoy a lot to being selected. I enjoy a lot the experience to grow that story, because it was a quite experience to think outside the box, and I was trying to figure out how to write something different, and I think I could make it because a lot of people vote for that short story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think James Goldberg has said that, there is a little bit of popularity contest in the audience votes, but it tends to be the ones that are consistently in the top 4 ranked that win the contest, no matter which or who brought them in to vote for them. So yeah, you should be proud of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. And I really liked this story, and just the juxtaposition of the mundane children's game with this sacred vision of Christ in the temple. So what made you decide to put those two things together?
So it's interesting because at the beginning, it came to my mind that image, that photo. Imagine a little girl inside the temple watching that sacred moment when Jesus Christ just introduced himself in front of Joseph Smith. I mean, I was just imagining that moment, and I start the story from the end to the beginning. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, I was trying to make all the things, to put all the things together, but at the end, that was the center of the story. That sacred moment that when our Lord just turned and saw her and their eyes get closed. I don't know how they translate that. In Spanish, it's pretty easy for me. I'm sorry. But
Okay.
that moment was the moment that I imagined. And then I tried to build a story to achieve that beautiful imaginary moment.
Yeah, I thought it was just a beautiful illustration of how God always knows where we are and what we're doing, but also just how much he loves children. Like, I think that's what I really loved about that image.
Yeah, if you try to do the same with any other kind of people, it doesn't make sense. I mean, if you are talking about, I don't know, a construction worker that it was there by mistake or any other person, it's not that beautiful illustration because, as you mentioned, children are so special for our Lord. So that's why I think the story was so significant for me, because I imagine a little child and that beautiful moment.
Yeah, I really like that. And then just the lead up to it with the hide and seek, like I didn't expect it to go where it did. And so I was really pleasantly surprised with that. And you said you didn't know how it was translated. So do you know who translated your story? I don't think I saw it on the website.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the translation. It was really good. But sometimes for me, it's hard to remember the words in English. So
okay.
I have the story in my mind in Spanish. So sometimes I try to explain myself in English. So it's a little tricky, only that.
Okay. That's better than my high school Spanish that I've learned. Was there anything else you wanted to mention about this story?
I think the idea came to my mind thinking about, it's hard to know how many sacred experiences the children of God live, probably, and we have no idea, because the feeling the spirit in our lives is not only for the leaders of the church or not only for the prophets. So probably every day there is somebody, members or even non-members of the church, that get closer to God because they have a sacred experience, some kind of communication, feel the Holy Ghost. And I was thinking in that, like, how many sacred experiences are there? And we have no idea. So that's why I start thinking, and the idea came to my mind to illustrate that moment that we already talked about.
Yeah. I'd like to hear more about this writing group that you have with Raphael. How did that get started, and how many are in your group?
Yeah, probably. We were there for some months, and the good thing is he helped us to think, as I mentioned, outside the box. So, for instance, this short story, it was a beautiful one, but we wrote any kind of things like horror stories, or he told me, even if you're writing something about the church, just don't think like all the time like a straight LDS active in the church. Try to think different. Try to think in the experiences that the members of the church have, and so we write several of stories and exercises, and he helped us to improve and to get it better, because at the end he said, you are not writing for the Inside magazine, you are writing because you like to write, and sometimes you need to think in different stories, different situations. Actually, we published this book in Spanish, of course. So it's called Horror Vacui, and those are short stories about and different kind of fears, and it was an interesting exercise that we all, of part of the group, play with and work with, and Jose Rafael helping us to improve. So I think I couldn't write a and a story like hidden without his help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know he was been a previous finalist in the Lit Blitz.
In the group, we have a couple finalists from the group.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay. Nice. And yeah, I totally agree with the idea that you're not writing for the ensign, because that's one of the things I really like about the Mormon Lit Blitz is that you get beyond that ideal image that is so common when we talk about things across the pulpit. But so many of us are not ideal, and it's good to have some of that representation as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what is a piece of media or literature, any format, any genre that you recommend for our audience?
Yeah, I was thinking in that question because I just start not long time ago my journey about the writing, about all that. So I'm not an expert. It was hard for me because in the past I used to read only nonfiction books, only self-esteem and that kind of books. And Rafael is helping me to try to improve. So something like I would recommend is actually Rafael's book. I think you can find it only in Spanish, but I understand it's in the work on translation right now. So he wrote a book called Eleusis, and this is an amazing novel about the story of 4 generations in the members of the church in Mexico. And something I like is he's showing the daily experiences that we have as members of the church, like not only the good things, even the problems and the challenges, and the how sometimes we feel when we go into the church building and we feel like, oh, they are judging me because I'm not worthy, that kind of situations. He made a great job in that book. So I think when this book is completely translated to English, it will be a great novel to read. I enjoy it a lot. I read it 3 or 4 times already. Yeah, I love it.
Okay. Can you say that title again for me?
Yeah, Eleusis.
Okay.
I know you can't see it on.
Okay, I think I can make out that title now. All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Uh-huh. All right, and do you have any other projects that you're working on, or is there anywhere online that people could find you?
Yeah, actually, I'm working right now. I'm writing a book. This will be my first book. No, because the past book I wrote is a nonfiction one talking about sales, but this one I'm trying to build a story in the times of the Book of Mormon. So I'm writing some kind of trying to build some stories in those years and try to combine the information we can find in the Book of Mormon about places and dates with a story, a modern story on those days. So I'm working on it. Probably I wrote around, I don't know, 8,500 words only, but I hope to get it ready soon. And of course, I will try to publish it and see. I hope that people can enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Book of Mormon does cover a long period of time. Is there a specific story you're paralleling it with?
Yes. Actually, it's really specific period of time. It's during the war of the army of Elaman, the 2000 Lamanites. Yeah, it's in that period.
It's a very exciting period.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining us, and it's great to talk with you.
It's my pleasure. I'm sorry, English is not my native language, so I still struggle to express myself properly, but I enjoy a lot talking with you. Thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome, and hope to see you again in the Lit Blitz.
Yeah, I hope so. See you next year.
Yep, we'll see ya. For more information about the Mormon Lit Blitz, visit mormonlitlab.org. If you would like to support the Mormon Lit Lab in producing Mormon literature through contests, workshops, and publications, look for their PayPal or visit patreon.com/MormonLitLab.